Happy to invite to your child's birthday party isn't always easy. One mum was left heartbroken when her 8-year-old son came home in tears after one of his classmates handed out invitations to everyone in the whole class except him.
Her complaint to the school about the incident led to a new policy which stops children from giving out invites at school unless every classmate is invited. A fair request or a step too far? Joining us now, blogger and mum Luciana Oliveira, who says children should invite whoever they want. There should not be a diktat that says invite everyone. But blogger and mum of 3 Lucy Baker says children, yes, invite the whole class, otherwise someone's left out. Very good morning to you. Lucy, what if there's someone who's left out is not a very nice... I'm not saying in this case, let's put this aside. But what if there is somebody who is a bit of a bully, is perhaps, you know, hits your best friend, and it means that your best friend wouldn't come along to the party?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know about this situation, do we, with the boy who was left out at the party. But... I mean, that's a fair point, Susanna, but I think the idea of one kid being left out is so extreme, isn't it? Everybody going to the party and then the kid not being invited. I mean, and especially with they're being invited through the school as well, and it's really obvious. And I think now with social media as well, that people know about these parties as well. They're not sort of hidden away, are they?
Yeah, so I think that because they've been invited through the school because their friends are basically mostly made in school, like most of that support system is from school, so that's why the school is like more like a way to contact, to get in touch with these kids.
Yeah,
so,
they're 8 years old, they're not emailing.
Exactly. So they have to make this first contact through the school, so it just happens to be through school. It does, and again, like I think what Susanna said about these kids, we don't know the ins and outs of what happens behind school walls, and maybe this kid could be the bully, maybe this kid is not a nice kid to a friend, and that's why they decided not to invite. And I think we should respect that. I think that's a way of my child imposing a boundary, and we should respect their feelings before respecting other ones.
And as you say, so let's just put this particular case aside.
Yeah.
In a separate scenario, what if the person doing the inviting uses it as an option? I mean, kids can be cruel to each other.
They absolutely can. I agree.
What if this little boy's done absolutely nothing at all?
Yes, I agree.
But someone's just using it as an opportunity to say, don't like you, don't care if you think I don't like you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, kids fall out all the time, don't they?
Absolutely, exactly. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, sometimes they fall out, and then maybe in that particular situation, they don't want to invite them. And I think the main thing here is pay attention if there is a pattern. If that repeats and that kid is just every single time not invited to parties, yes, maybe pay some attention just from a understanding point, from a empathetic point, trying to understand. Maybe the parents should approach, why is like the parents that invited, like, why has my child haven't been invited?
The thing is, I've got 3 children, and I've been through, you know, I've got one who's a teenager now and one who's 4, so I'm going to go through the whole party thing again. And actually, I've made mistakes in the past where I've sort of invited children to my children's parties, if that makes sense. So I got involved, and then it backfired a bit because kids did get left out. So I've been on the sort of receiving end of that, and then, you know, children feeling left out isn't lovely at all.
But also, I think that forcefully pushing your child into a party, it's not going to magically make them be accepted. Like, I don't think the school should have get involved. I think that was a bit heavy-handed from the school.
Also, that's an interesting word that Lucy says, because you could invite everybody.
Yes.
But actually, by inviting everybody, the party is a scenario where someone gets left out.
Absolutely.
So actually, if you know that this child is not someone that the child inviting to the party likes, then perhaps it's a better scenario for them not to be invited.
Exactly. I wouldn't want my child. I wouldn't put my child through that to push them into a party where they're not welcome.
Yeah.
But also,
I think to the side anyway.
You know, if you invite the whole class, not everybody turns up, for one.
Yes.
And actually, those children can then decide whether they want to go to that party or not. They might then think, actually, I don't want to go to so-and-so's party.
You've got teenagers.
Yes.
That's a choice, but that's their choice.
Teenagers have to get used to the fact that they are... my goodness, the perils of snap maps, where you can see, as a teenager, where your friends are at all times. And you know perfectly well if you have not been invited somewhere.
Yeah, and my daughter's going through that at the moment.
So maybe get used to it at 8, because it's going to happen at 16.
I know, but I think we have to help children build their resilience and understand situations from an early age. As parents, we need to help facilitate that.
Yes.
Make sure that, I mean, I want to spread the message as a parent that everyone's included.
Yeah.
Let's not be mean and not invite one child. Let's, you know, open up the doors and say, look, everyone come to my party, let's have a good time. And actually, people don't turn up anyway sometimes.
That could be also a bit toxic, because now you invalidating your child's choice over someone else's. Yeah. So I wouldn't do that. I think you're just teaching them to become
a people pleaser. Do you think, though, an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old or a 6-year-old can actually decide who they want to go to a party?
Yes.
I mean, my child
is 6 and she can.
Yeah, but sometimes they play with somebody one week, don't they?
Yes.
They play with somebody one week and then they don't play with them next week. Kids are always falling out.
Yes.
You know, the idea of being inclusive, I think, for me, it's important.
Do you think, Luciana, I mean, look, so I totally understand.
Yeah.
You don't want to say a school rule, everybody must be invited.
Yes.
But if you were a parent and you found out your child was going to invite 17 children and exclude one,
yes.
If you were the teacher and you found out they were going to hand out invitations to 17 children and not one, as a parent, wouldn't that ring an alarm bell in you? Would you be happy about that?
I wouldn't be happy, and I would absolutely create a safe space for my child to express her feelings.
What would you do about it?
I would, if it's a one, like I said...
But your daughter, who's got strong views, says, actually, sorry, I don't like that person because I just don't like her.
Yes, and that's...
What would you do then?
It's valid. It's absolutely valid. If they don't like my child, they have a choice. They can choose who they like.
So if your child says, age 6 or 7, there's 18 kids and there's one I don't like, that's it, she's not coming. You would say that's valid?
Absolutely valid.
Really?
Would you contact that child's parents?
No, unless, again, if it's a if there is a
I wouldn't say that's valid. I would say that's not nice.
I think it's unkind.
I don't think it's unkind.
And what if it's your 6-year-old who is not invited
again,
and every single other child?
I would then, again, if it's a pattern, that's a problem. That is signaling that there's something else that should be looked into deeper. If it's a one-time thing, I don't think that should be looked into. I think you should just create a safe space for them to express their emotions.
It is rejection, though, isn't it? And
It is, but they will be rejected anyway. I think it's a great opportunity to teach them a lifelong
but even at these
lesson.
parties, nothing's going to say that even if all the children are there, it's all going to go swimmingly. I mean, kids fall out all the time, don't they? But I think the idea of opening the doors and saying, look, let's all have fun, let's all have a party together. But actually, you know, that some people don't turn up anyway. So the parents can make informed choices and so can children. Well,
yes.
If your child, you said your youngest is 4. When your child is 8,
yep.
And if they were in the same situation, not invited everybody else in the class, would you do what this parent did and just go straight to the school and say that's outrageous?
I would question why. Yes, I probably would go to the school if the invites are being handed out in the school situation.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we need to question whether we're doing it in the right way as parents. Why are we putting invites through the school?
You might go to the school and say, what's happening with my child? They've not been invited.
Why are they
I'm worried
not being
about
invited?
it. Surely the teacher should be on the case about that.
Yeah,
So, you want to know why.
Also, you can't now pushing to parents. People are working on a very tight budget nowadays. People have tight budget.
Parties don't need to be expensive.
They've got 17 children.
Exactly.
And they've excluded one. That is not about tight budgets.
No, that's not about budget.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah. But now, now they're going to be forced to invite 40 children, 30 children.
We do know what our viewers think about this, because we asked, should children be forced to invite their whole class?
Of course they shouldn't.
And the numbers haven't changed. 85%. Should children be forced to invite the whole class? No. Only 15% of you said yes.
But if we ask our viewers, should one child out of 18 be excluded, I think most would also say no.
So why are we doing it through the school then? Why are we not doing it separately?
I think you have to investigate why that specific... Instead of just punishing everyone, just investigate why that specific child has been not invited.
Do you know what? I don't mind not being invited.
Me too.
You get to an age, don't you, where you're just glad not to be on the list. Too tired.
I know, for Susanna, it's such a burden. I've been invited again.
To an 8-year-old's party. Thank you both very much indeed.